1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move. Whatever click you choose, you better
Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight. During those times, I accumulated some good stories, and I'm going to share them with y'all today. In the event you like this story, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Most importantly, hit the notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP Rocky. You can hop on it whenever you're ready. Now, this particular story right here takes place at a prison by the name of CMC on the East Yard. This was like, I would say around 2015, 2016. So the way CMC East was built was a bit different from a lot of other prisons. It only had 2 buildings on the yard, and the buildings reminded me of a college dormitory. So you'd walk around the track, and when you would want to go into the building had about 4 or 5 steps going up into the building. It would almost resemble like a porch area. The porch had a door frame with a guardrail coming up, when you're walking up the stairs, and there was 2 entrances on each side of that guardrail. So when you would come into the building, like I said, reminded me of a college dormitory. When you would come into the building, there was a podium that sat right there. It was 2 officers that sat at the podium. Now, if you look down to the left or you look down to the right, it was a long hallway. The hallway was maybe about 7 or 8 feet wide and maybe a little wider. And there was cells going, so when you turned, it was a big grill gate, like something that you would see in a old Western jail, And in the morning, they pull a lever down and open that. It was a box. They pull a lever down, then it would unlock all the cells. Then they could open that grill gate and have access to that hallway. So once you open the grill gate and you maybe take like 3 or 4 steps in, to the right, there was a small day room with 2 tables, 2 metal tables in there, and a TV. On the other side, the left, there was a bigger day room with a TV with maybe about 4 or 5 wooden benches that was long, maybe about 6-7 feet long, and a bathroom in there. Then right after you passed the day room on the right hand side, there was a shower, big old giant shower with about 5 or 6 individual shower heads in there. Then after that, the cells start from cell 1, 2, 3. You'd go all the way down the hallway to like maybe about cell 27. On the opposite side would be 28, and it would come all the way back up to 49. Then you would come out that grill gate again. They called that the low side because of the low numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Then you'd go across the hallway. Then it was cell number 50, 51, 52. You go all the way down maybe to about 76. Then you go across, then it would come back up. And so that makeup right there was a lot different than how other prisons was built. And so now, just because everybody in there is black, of course, everybody doesn't necessarily know everybody. Or if you happen to be from different geographical locations or even different areas, different hoods, you don't necessarily speak or hang out with everybody. You may just say what's up or something like that. So there happened to be 3 dudes on my tier. They was from up north. When I say up north, I'm talking Northern California, maybe the San Francisco, Oakland, the Bay Area, somewhere, up in there. But by me being from Southern California, I didn't necessarily speak to them a whole lot or even know exactly where they was, So I guess at some point in time, two of the dudes started to get into it with another dude. Now, what it was all about, I don't know, because like I tell you guys sometimes in some of my stories, sometimes you're not always gonna have the full exact background to the story. So I just know one night we're in that first day room to the right playing dominoes. We be going there and play dominoes, a lot of times and stuff at night. And all of a sudden we just scream. We hear screaming and hollering out in the day room like somebody's fighting. You hear squeak, squeak, squeak. You hear the squeaking of feet and tennis shoes. So I get up, I run, I look outside. I see some dude that got something in his head. He going upside somebody's head. Mop, 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 busting him upside his head. Now, it's another dude on the side of him trying to get on the dude that's swinging it. But, he kind of running, but he kind of running and fighting and swinging. So at some point, COs, they see that, they hit the button, they come in here and get him, So once they come in here and get him, get him up, handcuff him, you can see that one of the dudes he was hitting, he didn't busted his head. His head is bleeding real bad. I don't know if the dude had a lock in a sock or some type of knife instrument. I don't know what the dude had that he was hitting the dude with, right? And so they go on to the hole. Now, I forget all about that after a while, a day or two or whatever. We talk about it. We go back to doing what we was doing, especially because they was from a different car. And so maybe about a month later, I just so happened to be going to the peel line, and the dude that was using the weapon, they got him in the cage. Now, a cage is basically like a phone booth with a mesh metal wire around it. And so they got him in there handcuffed, right? And so as I'm standing in line, he's maybe about 3 or 4 feet to my left. So I hear the COs talking. The COs are talking about every time he goes to a yard, he gets attacked, So like I said, this is the same dude who was hitting the dude in the head. So from what I'm hearing, I'm gathering that maybe dude's partners or for whatever reason is going upside this dude's head. I don't know if he had bad paperwork on him. I don't know if they just fell out or whatever. But like I said, from what I did gather, the rest of the dudes from the Bay are not happy with the dude who was attacking the other dude for whatever reason. So maybe about 2 or 3 days later, the dude that was in the cage that was doing the attacking, because now see what happened is also, from like I said, from what I gathered, they had moved him around to each yard. I failed to mention it's 4 yards at CMC, A yard, B yard, C yard, and D yard. So like I said, I heard the guard saying that every time they send him to a yard, he gets attacked. So about maybe 2 or 3 days later, I see him on our yard. See him coming across the yard, maybe another day or two later, they call him to go get his property. Now, when they call you to go get your property, you have to go to what's known as R&R, which is receiving and release. So a lot of people will take, a big old giant laundry bag to bring all their, their store, their clothes and stuff like that. So I guess they must have called him to go get his property. So after he went and got his property, he got the big old laundry bag, big old white mesh laundry bag. He's coming across the yard with it. When he's walking across the yard, all of a sudden, 2 dudes from the base, 2 other dudes who I didn't know, they just rushing. Beep, beep, boop, pop, beep, 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 boop, pop, beep, boop. They squabbing in the middle of the yard. The dude that they rush now, he's running. He's not really trying to fight. They own him. Now, to keep it 100, can't none of them fight. They all out in the middle of the yard. They swinging, they fighting. They out there fighting, and it's like they're in the middle of the yard, but the COs, they ain't seen nothing. At one point, one of the dudes run up to the dude that is getting attacked, who was doing the attacking a month or 2 ago, and spit right in his face, right? So the dude he trying to fight, and I'm gonna keep it 100, right? At some point, I wish I could just run over there and jump in and help the dude that was getting attacked. The dude who was getting attacked was a little bit younger. The dude who was attacking, the dudes who were attacking the dude was a little bit younger, probably in their early 20s. None of them fight though, but they jumping the dude, and the dude really didn't have no win. So eventually, the police see it. They tell him to get down. Don't none of them get down. They still squabbing. Beep, 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 boop, pop, beep, boop, pop. They busting dude up. Dude running, he'll run this way, he'll run that way. He trying to stay away from the 2 dudes. So the police finally get over there, make them dudes lay down and stuff, pick them up, take them all off to the hole. Now, After they get up and take them to the hole, or wherever they was taking them, they said resume normal program, which basically means that, you know, the situation is clear and now everybody that's laid down can hop back up. I'm gonna keep it real, man. One of my good partners, man, he ran with the gangster car, right? I ain't gonna say where he's from or what his name, man. He kind of disappointed me, man, deeply when they put the yard up. Like I said, now these brothers who was doing all this fighting or whatever, they was from up north, right? And so the brother though, man, he went over there and picked up the dude's bag that he was carrying. You know, start digging through his bag, taking shoes out, and basically, you know, stealing his stuff, man. And that's something that I deeply was disappointed in, man. I didn't respect that. You know what I'm saying? That was my partner, but I looked at him different after that. You know, me and him always had a pretty good rapport. He probably in his, I don't know, maybe late 20s, you know, late 20s. But I just thought, you know, like I say, man, in prison, we don't steal, you know. I felt the old boy should have grabbed his stuff and really just left it alone. Or, you know, grabbed it and gave it to somebody, you know, that was from his car. But like I said, you had a few dudes after he ran over there and started taking stuff. You had dudes taking stuff up out of there, man. And so, yeah, you know, that was something that I just found that was cold, you know, and I hate to see brothers do other brothers like that. But like I say, this was around 2015, 2016. And in my opinion, just points to the lack of unity, you know, that brothers have for each other sometimes. Like I say, man, everybody saw this dude on the yard struggling, trying to fight two other dudes. And so they, you know, afterwards they went over there and now this dude is going to the hole, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Now they over there stealing this stuff. So yeah, I was disappointed in that, man. But things changed, you know, once I got to prison, in terms of the camaraderie that blacks showed other blacks. When I first got to prison, and see, this was on a level 3 yard. So, but when I first got to prison, I went to a level 4 yard, and maybe just by people realizing the need for unity and the seriousness of being on that yard, it was a lot more camaraderie just for you being black. You know, a person would, you know, holler at you, make sure you was good, take you under the wing or whatever, or at least point you in the direction to where your folks was, you know, and stuff. And when I say folks, I'm talking about where whatever specific area that you was from, you know, in terms of, you know, geographic. And so, yeah, that was just something that I found disappointing, man, how them dudes went over there and took all the dude's stuff. So I never did see him or the other two dudes again. I'm probably assuming that by him being attacked on every single yard, they eventually just transferred him to another prison. But anyway, like I be telling y'all, you know, a lot of times in these stories, I don't necessarily have complete background to give y'all the full story, but I've seen many incidents like that where a fight is something to just break out and you just basically see what you see. So anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program. Them crackers let me out the gate, now the pressure's on. What? We about to get this shit straight like a pressing cone. Okay. The wrong cat to get aggressive on. I bring the bitch up out of niggas while you think they got them dresses on. My reach long and that's the best type. To have some dirty white boys come and smoke you like a meth pipe. And leave your chest bright red like a fire truck. Kicking your mom's door at night, nigga, and tie her up. I'm wild as fuck and I'm respected by the new youth. I put this pistol in their ear like a Bluetooth. I blow their brains on their new coupe. And have red everywhere just like a function full of soup whoops. Tell your troops I deal with beef like a butcher. My 4-5 pump more guys than Ashton Kutcher. Line pusher, quick to bury your clown. Nigga, I stayed in the park like the merry-go-round. Get it?
The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. Oh, you niggas don't know my name. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. I'm out here doing my thing. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. I swerve in my own lane. The game greasy, bitch, the game.